Betsy Nichols here, Program Specialist for the Girl Scouts of Minnesota and Wisconsin Lakes and Pines. I'm in Duluth, Minnesota, and today we are going to be talking some SWAPs. So, as people are jumping on to the stream, why don't we just do a little icebreaker, get to know you in the comments section. So if you are tuning in today, I would love to hear where you are from, if you are in a troop, and let me see. Tell me about your lunch. I had some nice chicken and rice and broccoli. Good, really happy with that. Let's see. What else do we got going on? I'll give everyone a second to jump on. I'm crouched on the floor right now because I want you to see my workspace. Because not only am I going to be talking about SWAPs, I'm also going to be making a few. All right, well, I am just going to jump right in with the and law. So, on my own, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people and to live by the Girl Scout law. I will do my best to be fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and to every Girl Scout. Great. So, SWAPs. What are they? With them? Where do you bring them? How do you make them? I got you covered. So, a SWAP is it's an acronym for, or a mnemonic device, kind of like how LOL stands for laugh out loud. SWAP stands for special what affectionately pinned. And if you say SWAPs, then you add someplace. So special affectionately pinned, or special whatchamacallit affectionately pinned someplace. Twister. So I'm going to show you some of the received over the past couple years, and I'll talk through the different events that I got them at, who gave them to me. But SWAPs are a great item to bring to different events to within your council, and when you meet Girl Scouts outside of your council. So in 2008, I was a Girl Scout, and I went to the National Convention in Indianapolis, and that was a great opportunity to bring a SWAP there that I could exchange with the Girl Scouts. So the whole idea behind it is that you have a SWAP and give it to someone else, and then they give you a SWAP in return. So you're kind of trading SWAP. So other places that you could bring a SWAP to would be like, within your council, and so you could have a SWAP that you exchange with other troops. Growing up, I grew up in Central Indiana. My home council is the Girl Scouts of Central Indiana. We had a jamboree that we would do every spring, and we would make hundreds of SWAPs, me and my troop, and we would exchange them with the other troops. And so we would put our troop number on, and so then, and there would kind of always be a contest to see who could get SWAPs, and if a certain troop or a certain girl brought really cool SWAPs or creative SWAPs, then everyone would be kind of rushing to get that one. Me too. What do I make? What do I make a SWAP out of? What do I turn it into? Well, there are so many different things. SWAPs are tiny, and you pin them to. A lot of people have like a hat or a jacket that they put their SWAPs on. So here's one received at a overnight event that I made, or that I hosted. I hope you guys can see me because every few seconds video feed goes black for a moment. But this is a golf tee, and it has a rhinestone on the front. And so it kind of looks like a little flashlight. And Abby, who gave it to me, she put a little tag that went with it, and it said "Shine bright like a diamond." So this was her swap that she gave me, and small, and that's perfect. That's what we're looking for. Here's another swap that I had. This was from Our World, Our Family. That's an event that we do here at our council, Girl Scouts Minnesota and Wisconsin. So Our World, Our Family is one of our biggest signature events, and it is the weekend after Labor Day. And some years it's really warm and really nice outside. Past year, 2019, it was so unbelievably cold. And so someone looked at the weather forecast and made these tiny, they look like the old kind of thermometers. It's a paper clip, and it has as the little mercury, and then they did little dash marks on the side of the paper clip. And so the piece of paper that came with it fell off, but it said like "The Big Freeze, Our World, Our Family 2019." So that's enough. Let's go through. Oh, here's one that I got on a trip. Led. The girl, she got those tiny little paper umbrellas, and she put just a in the bag, and so it was a beach in a bag. So this is another swap that I've had. And then here's one, a very simple one. They called it the Friendship Ball, and it is kind of like the song "Make New Friends but Keep the Old." So a ball meaning no end. So they took inspiration from a Girl Scout song. So you can anything into a swap. It could be a memory that you or your troop has. It could be special to where you come from. So in a minute, I am going to be making a swap that tells you a little bit about where I'm from. It can be a fun little funny thing like the thermometer because it was really cold. The beach in a bag because we all want to be at the beach. So those are the different kind of ideas for swaps out of, or just taking anything Girl Scout related and scaling it down to something that you can pin onto a hat or a jacket. So let me show you one of the I have made. So like I said earlier in the video, I'm from Indiana. I grew up in Indiana. Is the Girl Scouts of Central Indiana, and so what does Indiana have a lot of? Why, it has a lot. So I made this tiny corn on the cob swap, and I'll show you. And so this actually isn't the first time that I have made a corn on the cob swap, because as a Girl Scout went on 2 destination trips. And destination trips are also a great exchange swaps. So I'm starting out with, I have a pin, just a little safety pin, and I also have some twine. So what to do is I am going to I'm threading through the, so you got the pokey part, and then there's a little hole at the end. So I'm threading my twine through that bottom piece. So this is going to act as the tassels for my ear of corn. What I'm doing next is I'm just taking my hot glue gun and I'm just putting a little dab of glue on this twine. I'm going to sandwich it together. Sandwiching it together because a piece of twine at the end of my safety pin. So I'm getting my scissors and I'm just trimming off my extra twine. I don't need all of that. Perfect. Now, I have yellow pony beads, and so that is pieces of corn. And so I am sliding them down one by one. So here's my safety pin, here's my yellow pony bead. So I'm sliding it not all the way down, because before I get to do a little dab of glue on my twine, and then position the bead and press it down. There we go. So there's one. I'm going to do that a second and a third time. Sliding it on, dab of glue, and putting the bead over the dot of glue. And one last time. Oops. This was the best way that I could come up with that didn't involve getting burnt by the hot glue. I've also made corn with and pipe cleaners. I don't have any pipe cleaners, so what I am using as the husk is I have some tissue paper. So I'm folding it up so that it's a little bit thicker, and then I'm just going to kind of sandwich my ear of corn in the tissue paper. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to trim off my twine one more time. And now I am going to just a paper clip, and I'm kind of going to separate all the different pieces that are wrapped up. So essentially what I'm doing here is creating the tassels on the corn, on the ear. I just want them to look nice and frayed out. So I got that started with and then I did the rest with my hands. So now we have a nice little tasseled piece of corn cob. Okay, so let's wrap it up. So I'm going to kind of figure out how do I want it to look. The bottom, I like that. So I'm going to just do, again, you don't need a lot of glue. I'm just going to do a little dab, drag it up the length of the tissue paper, wrap it up again, little pinch. So here we go. And then maybe I'll need to secure it just a little bit more, so we're going to go in. I would never say I used too little glue, but I needed to go in with another layer. All right, so here is what we got going on. Oh, gosh. I'm going to give my tissue paper a little trim as well. Here's my ear of corn, and so if we were doing this all together, I'd send you home with some corn because I am from Indiana, and so this is important to me. I'd also put my name on it, my troop number, Betsy, troop 207. That was my troop number as a Girl Scout. That I've made in the past, and I was very excited to make again. Swaps are great. Swaps are such a fun way to represent council, your home state, you as a person, and they are so fun to trade at. But another way that you can create and exchange swaps is maybe you are and everyone at the camporee makes the same swap together. And so then when you all see each wearing that same swap, you say, oh yeah, you were at that camporee. I was there too. Wasn't that fun? So that's another way of swaps. All right. So I'm going to wrap things up. And I just want to say that if you are more swap content, if this kind of shallow dive into swaps got you excited, we are going to be swap related content. One of our coordinators, Jessica, she is going to be releasing some videos talking about more swaps and different types of swaps that we make. So if you keep your eye peeled for that, you will swapspiration to pull from. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are healthy and well, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.